210 Boxing TV here with Leo Santa Cruz. What's going on, champ? What you got going on today?
Yeah, right now just working out a little bit. I'm getting ready for the fight. It still hasn't been announced. They still haven't told me nothing, but I think it's gonna be maybe Rey Vargas. That's what the media's been saying. So hopefully it does happen. I want to unify. I want to be WBC champion, and hopefully the fight happens. It's gonna be a fight for the fans. So I'm just getting ready.
How do you feel about that? Rey Vargas' fight with Max Kellerman. How did you feel about that fight, his performance, and how that went?
His performance was good. He did what he had to do to win the fight. Max Kellerman's a strong fighter. He comes with the power. He could knock you out with a good punch. And Rey Vargas boxing really good. He kept them the distance. He didn't let them land those good shots. And I think he did what he had to do. He boxed them really good and everything. Max Kellerman had to pressure more, but it happened.
Now, I also wanted to ask you, Leo, so after the fight, Nacho Benistan, he came out, and Rey Vargas as well, they start calling you out, saying, hey, we want Leo Santa Cruz next.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by that, or were you expecting that?
Nah, I wasn't surprised, because, I think they had asked me before that if I wanted the winner of Max Kellerman and Vargas, and I said, yeah, of course, I am the WBA champion, I would like to unify against the winner of that, and so that's why, and they've been wanting me to fight him since a long time ago. Rey Vargas has been wanting to fight me since he was 122, and I was up for it, but yes, the promoters, the managers hadn't come with an agreement. But now that we're in the same weight and we're both champions, I think it could happen.
And do you feel like that's what the game's missing right now, like an all-Mexican war like that, champion against champion? Back in the day, we used to get it common, yeah. But lately, we don't get it that often. And do you feel like that's what we need right now?
Yeah, I think so, because when one Mexican faces another Mexican, it's a guaranteed war, because we both come to fight. We're gonna stay in the middle of the ring, straight punches back and forth, and we both gonna want it. We both won that championship. We won that extra belt, and that's what we're gonna do. We wanna please the fans, and I think that's what's gonna happen in this fight. Like Barrera Morales, those type of fights. That's the fight we want.
Like the fights you have, like with Abner Mares, the fights you got in your career.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, with Mares, he's another great Mexican fighter. He came forward. He came to fight. The fans loved it, and I think against Rey Vargas, it's gonna be the same.
Now, I also wanted to ask you, do you feel like this is the way you want to rebound? Because as I mentioned, in February you had your win against Carvajal, and now to have a unification fight, in 1 year to be a unified champion. Is this what you feel like you need for your career right now?
Yes, of course. This is the first time I've been unified, so for me it's something big. For me it's like another dream. Another dream to accomplish, something I want to accomplish in boxing, so that when I retire, I'll be known for that. For being a 4th division world champion. And if I win this one, I'll be a 6-time world champion. So, and then unifying, and against a fighter like Rey Vargas, he's undefeated. He's like 30-something and all. It's just big for me. It means a lot that when I retire, people are gonna know about me and say that I did. Do you feel
like a victory over Rey Vargas will put your place in the Hall of Fame if you're not Hall of Fame already?
Yeah, hopefully it does. But if it doesn't, as long as the fans remember me, as long as the fans know I was a great fighter, that I went up there and fought for them to get them great shows, that's all that matters. I want the fans to remember me, and that's all.
Speaking about Abner Mares, he's coming back this Saturday. What do you think about him coming back after a long layoff like this?
I think it's good for him, because us as fighters, we miss boxing. When we stop boxing, we want to go out there in the ring and fight. And Mares had been 4 years without boxing, and I know he loves boxing. He wanted to go back there, but his eyes didn't let him. I just wish him the best. I hope he looked good, he recovered, and that he could look spectacular and do a great fight. And I wish him the best.
He had mentioned he wanted a trilogy fight with you. Would you be open to fighting him again?
Of course. Depends how he looks. If he looks good and the fans say, hey, we want to fight against Leo Santa Cruz, of course, I'll give it to him. It will be the 3rd fight. Both the first fights were really good. The fans loved it, and I'm pretty sure if he looks good, fans are going to want that 3rd fight.
Now, getting back to Rey Vargas, if it does happen, can we expect it in November, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's what I heard. I think they were looking for November, early December, but if it was up to me, I think in November it would be a good fight, because that way I could have December, spend time with the family and everything. So I have a good time in November, and then we can fight him.
Now, I did want to ask you about the main event this weekend. Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great fight. They're both great fighters. Andy Ruiz throws a lot of punches. He's tough. He comes forward. But I think Ortiz is stronger. Okay? I think he's a stronger fighter. So I think if Ortiz lands a good shot or could knock him out or hurt him. But if Ortiz cannot hurt him, I think Andy Ruiz is gonna win by decision.
Okay, man. And then we also got Pitbull and Rayo Valenzuela on the card. What do you think about those guys?
No, two great fighters. Rey Valenzuela, he has the power. He comes to fight. He with one punch he could hurt you, and he's a tough fighter. Also Pitbull, he's a tough fighter. Comes forward. As you saw, he gave Tank Davis a hard fight, tough. And those are the type of Mexican fighters that come to fight, come to leave a show for the fans. So they're gonna be a great show for the fans. The fans are the ones that are gonna win.
Now, just before we wrap up, I just want to ask you, talking about Tank